If I'm on a flight from New York to LA, I'm moisturizing my skin probably minimum 2 times, maximum probably 4. I try to do it every hour, hour and a half of the flight. Hi, I'm Jasmine Barmer. I'm a flight attendant and I have moderate psoriasis. Today we're gonna go through every single way psoriasis impacts my day-to-day life. My psoriasis routine is ever-changing, it feels like. Sometimes it's constant, but sometimes there are bumps along the way. To simplify it all, I've broken it down into sections. My diagnosis, beauty, career, diet, fitness, and sleep. Psoriasis is a chronic autoimmune disorder that speeds up the growth of skin cells. For me, psoriasis looks like large, scaly red patches, both on my scalp, my face, and sometimes on my chest and arms. I have been dealing with what I thought was eczema probably since I was 5 or 7. I can't really pinpoint an age because it's been so long. It's my sophomore year of college. I really just was sick of being uncomfortable in my own skin, literally. It was so bad, I didn't wanna wash my face. I didn't wanna get up half the time, but washing my face hurt. It hurt to talk. I was scared to walk around campus. I literally went from my dorm to class, back to my dorm. I missed out on so much. My friends were upset and everything. And at that point, I was like, okay, I'm missing out on my life because of the way I look. Something's gotta give. So I did some research and I found a new dermatologist, and I'm telling you, the moment he walked in the room, he was like, I think you have psoriasis. He called me back 2 days later, confirmed it. I went back in and that's when we started a treatment plan. Everything else cleared up except my scalp. Every single time I scratched, anytime I washed my hair, when I woke up in the morning, there was always scalp and pieces of hair just laying around or falling out. And so my dermatologist, he's like, all right, something's gotta give. You're either gonna have to wash your hair twice a day or you're gonna have to cut it off. And in that moment, I'm like, sir, I'm young, I'm beautiful. You really want me to cut my hair off? It took me about 5 or 6 months to really decide what I was gonna do. And that last day of my sophomore year, I went to the barbershop and I haven't looked back since. I guess I was more so worried about how people would react when in reality, this has become my look. I'm loving the way my skin looks right now. Beauty is a really natural place to start because psoriasis has such an impact on my beauty routine. If I skip one day of my moisturizing routine, it's not even gonna take 24 hours. Within a couple hours, I'm gonna notice a difference. I'll start feeling tingliness on my face, and then slowly the redness will show up. My whole body feels it and is impacted. I wash my face with Dr. Bronner's. I use ordinary hyaluronic acid. I also use the ordinary argan oil. And after all of that, I use a coconut oil moisturizer as well to kind of lock all of that in. And just because coconut oil is an extra layer of hydration for my skin. Even though I live in New York City, I still try to get as much sun as possible. I spend a lot of time in the sun. I know that you need a lot of sunscreen, so I think the SPF in the sunscreen is definitely helpful in trying to balance my skin out to get rid of the discoloration. If I wanna wear perfume, I am spraying it on my clothes. I definitely wouldn't put that on my face, but if I just wanted to test the waters and put it on my leg, I probably within 30 minutes would have a patch. It's crazy how quick it happens, but it's my body's no, what are you doing? There's a fragrance, and literally patches will start to appear. If I know that I'm gonna wear makeup, I am solely drinking water, probably starting about 3 days out from when I know I'm gonna wear makeup, just because makeup's pretty drying for the skin. When it's time for me to sit down and do my makeup routine, I do all those moisturizing steps that I mentioned, as well as use a very hydrating primer from First Aid Beauty, just to make sure that I'm giving it an extra layer before I give my skin that drying makeup. I use Juvia's Place foundation. It's a velvety, hydrating foundation. As a result of my psoriasis, I have discolored skin. So I feel like my skin's 5 different colors. And it's been the best thing that I could use even during a flare up. It will give me that sense of normalcy with my skin. It'll still give me a full coverage, but it also helps my skin to remain hydrated as well. To start my body skincare routine off, I use Dr. Bronner's either mint or unscented soap. I can't really use loofahs or washcloths or anything, so I actually use these microfiber gloves that my mom found on Amazon, and they've been amazing just because they're soft enough and they won't make my skin irritated. When it's time, to get out of the shower and moisturize, I try to leave my body damp. I don't fully dry off, so I pat my skin so it's damp. I start with a raw shea butter on my skin to, get that first layer of moisturizer in there. Then I'll go over top and kind of lock it in with another either non-scented lotion like CeraVe or Cetaphil. After that, I wash my hair. Every time I shower, I wash my hair. A few times out of the week, I use a coal tar-based shampoo. Coal tar is really an ingredient derived from actual coal that's used normally to treat the scaliness, itchiness, and inflammation. Even if my head is shaved just to be on the safe side. I also use an argan oil conditioner. And after that, I usually just brush my hair, and I would use a scalp moisturizing product from the same brand, Kiti Kiti, and just brush my hair and go about my day. When it comes to an active flare-up, everything that I mentioned, I kind of strip it away. And I try to keep my routine as simple as possible, and that's whether it's body, face, or scalp, as well as the medicine that I've been prescribed by dermatologists. My skin already has a lot going on at that time, and I don't really want to shock it and irritate it or anything, so I try to scale everything back and keep it pretty simple. I'm a flight attendant for a major US airline, and I'm probably in a plane 30 plus hours a week. The air up there, 30,000 feet, is extremely drying, so drying. So I try to stay on top of that dryness whenever I am in the air. I keep all my travel moisturizers packed so I don't have to think about it when it's time for me to throw things in my bag for work. So that includes mini versions of all of my moisturizers because I don't want to introduce my skin to anything new or anything extra drying. So I try to make sure that I have everything that I need. I'm in the airport, I'm walking to the plane, and literally the first thing that I do when I'm on an airplane, I keep a Sharpie in my bag. I grab my Sharpie, I grab 2 bottles of water, just so no one will take them or drink from them or anything. I write my name on them, and that's when that in-flight hydration really begins. So when I'm on the plane, I'm actually re-moisturizing my face pretty regularly. That ding you hear in the plane, as soon as I'm able to get up, I'll take one of the water bottles and pour it over a washcloth and kind of wash my face off and then reapply the moisturizers that I keep in my bag, and then I'm ready to begin flight attending. If I'm on a flight from New York to LA, I'm moisturizing my skin probably minimum 2 times, maximum probably 4. I try to do it every hour and a half of the flight. So really the journey of discovering what I need to do, whether in flight or just a routine in general, it's all trial and error. I didn't start doing that the first day I flew, but it kind of came with time when I realized, okay, I'm in a plane more so, meaning that I'm gonna have to hydrate more, or just talking to other flight attendants, asking them what are some things you do, to hydrate your body? They always say, drink lots of water, but I know that I have to take that a little further and be able to wash my face, be able to do that re-moisturizing just so I don't cause any flare-ups in my skin. For me, managing my stress and keeping it at a very low level is so important because if I'm stressed out, that means my skin's stressed out, and that means a flare-up probably will happen. So I do a few different things to kind of maintain that, but my favorite is actually practicing yoga. Every flight that I'm on, my yoga mat is inside of my carry-on bag. Usually I'll try to stand up, and I don't know what it's called, this is so bad, but I'll try to physically balance myself, when you stand up on one leg and you put the other one up in your inner thigh. So I feel like balancing myself and really focusing on that usually helps me calm down quickly because I'm just trying not to fall. I try not to work out too hard because sweat or any type of salinity on my body really will cause an immediate flare-up. So if there is a by chance that I sweat, I literally will run into the shower, hop right into the shower. That's why I prefer to work out at home or work out in a hotel room. I keep body wipes in my bag as well, just in case I can't get in the shower immediately. I'll just do a quick wipe off just to avoid that breakout caused by sweat. So for me, drinking what seems like gallons and gallons and gallons of water a day is just so important because I realized that my psoriasis really starts with my insides, like making sure that I'm hydrating those skin cells. They're gonna grow fast. I can't help that, but I can just make sure that I'm doing my part in moisturizing to kind of avoid them really flaring up and breaking out. Over the years, I've realized that alcohol is a trigger for my psoriasis. After about 2 drinks, I'm running the risk of waking up to skin irritation the next day. Shortly after college, I was like in my first big girl job. I was making a lot of money. All my friends lived in close cities, so we'd, go drinking. My skin was still frequently breaking out. My mom one day mentioned, she's like, "Did you ever think about cutting out alcohol?" I'm like, no, I'm 24, 25, I'm not doing that, no. And so my mom really challenged me to go without alcohol for, I think it was 30 days. And I will tell you, she was right. That was 30 days that I went with no flare-ups, I actually had no skin issues at all. After that 30 days, I've kind of gotten into a routine or a place where I just limit my alcohol intake. I usually can have about 2 drinks before my skin will be like, okay, nope, it's time to stop. I definitely make time for sleep. I try to get in the bed at a decent hour, which can be kind of hard as a flight attendant sometimes because, you're jumping time zone to time zone to time zone. But I try to get 7 hours of sleep just so my body can relax. I try to do things to keep my body relaxed, but sleep to me is the best way to do that. When I'm dealing with a flare-up, I just try to use like 3 to 4 extra layers of moisturizer. And then to give it that extra lock-in, I wear these ugly long sleeve, long pant pajamas, just to protect my sheets from getting super stained and super greasy. I like using a diffuser just because it kind of helps set that calming mood in the room to have that smell. So I like to use lavender or mint, either or, especially when I'm going to sleep. I like both of those smells, but it's just an extra layer of like calming and comfort that kind of helps me to wind down. Eventually, I want to go to law school, and I've taken the LSAT, and when I was preparing for the LSAT, I was freaking out, like stressed out all the time, questioning if that was something I really wanted to do. I wasn't sleeping because I was up late trying to study. My skin started to flare up. My scalp, even though my hair was short, my scalp started to flare up as well. And, I was talking to my mom about it, and she's like, you have to like calm down and get rest and not stress yourself out. She's like, this. It's easier said than done for sure. But just having someone else be able to remind me, like, if you want to maintain that normalcy with your skin, you can't let this LSAT defeat you in a way that it consumes you so much. I have definitely, and it took time, but I have definitely come to a place of acceptance with my psoriasis. I know now that I'm older and I know exactly what it is, I know what I need to do. Emotionally, physically, I am in a much better place about dealing with psoriasis.